Am I the asshole for refusing to house my husband's affair child? Would you open your home to the living reminder of your partner's betrayal, even if it wasn't the child's fault? That's the question I've been grappling with for weeks now. For context, my husband, Ryan, 38 male, and I, 36 female, have been married for 12 years. Our life has been far from perfect, but it was stable, or so I thought. We have 2 children together, Ellie, 10 female, and Max, 8 months. They're the light of my life, and everything I've worked for has been for the sake of our little family. 2 years ago, Ryan confessed to an affair that had occurred 5 years prior. He said it was a mistake, a lapse in judgment during a rough patch in our marriage when we were constantly fighting about money and work stress. The woman, Laura, lived in a different city, and according to Ryan, they only met up a few times. He assured me that it had ended quickly, and he had regretted it ever since. I was devastated but decided to stay for the sake of our kids. We went to counseling, and while I wouldn't say I completely forgave him, I learned to compartmentalize my anger and hurt. Things slowly returned to normal, or so I thought. Fast forward to last month. Ryan received a call from Laura, who revealed that she had a son, Ethan, 6 male, and that Ryan was his biological father. She explained that she hadn't told him sooner because she wasn't sure if he could handle the responsibility, given that he was married and had his own family. However, her circumstances had changed. She was facing serious financial struggles and health issues, and she wanted Ryan to step up as Ethan's father. I was blindsided. Ryan sat me down and said he felt obligated to help. He suggested that Ethan move in with us temporarily while Laura sorted out her situation. He even had the audacity to phrase it like this was some noble cause we'd be doing together, as if I should feel honored to help save this child. But all I could think about was how this child's existence was the result of his betrayal. I told Ryan flat out that I wasn't comfortable with Ethan living in our home. I said I could understand him wanting to support the boy financially or even visiting him regularly, but having him live with us was too much for me. It felt like I was being asked to relive the affair every single day. How could I be expected to look at Ethan without being reminded of the worst pain I've ever endured? Ryan was furious. He said that Ethan was an innocent child who had no control over how he came into this world. He accused me of being heartless and selfish for not wanting to help. He even implied that refusing to take Ethan in would make me a bad role model for Ellie and Max. I argued back that this wasn't about Ethan. It was about what I could mentally and emotionally handle. I told him that I'd already done the hard work of trying to forgive him for the affair, and now he was asking me to take on even more emotional labor. I said that if he felt so strongly about it, maybe he should find his own place where he could live with Ethan. That shut him up. But things have been icy between us ever since. He's been staying late at work, barely talking to me, and I can feel the tension every time we're in the same room. The kids have noticed too, and Ellie even asked me why Daddy seemed so sad lately. I didn't know what to tell her. To complicate matters, Ryan's family has gotten involved. His sister called me last week to say she couldn't believe I was turning away a child in need and that I was being petty and cruel. My own sister, on the other hand, said she couldn't believe I was even considering staying with Ryan after this bombshell and thinks I should kick him out. I've also started questioning what this means for my own kids. If Ethan moves in, would Ellie and Max feel like they're being pushed aside? How do I explain to them why their half-brother is suddenly living with us without opening a Pandora's box of painful truths? And what about me? Would I ever be able to look at Ethan without resentment? Or worse, would I end up unintentionally treating him differently, which would make things even more toxic? I did some research to see if there were other solutions. I suggested to Ryan that we help Laura find housing or even pay for temporary childcare while she gets back on her feet. Ryan dismissed this, saying it wasn't a permanent solution and that Ethan needed a stable environment. He also argued that fostering resentment wasn't fair to anyone, especially Ethan. I reached out to a therapist to help me process my emotions, and they validated my feelings. The therapist said that while Ethan is innocent, it's not unreasonable for me to have boundaries, especially given how fresh this revelation is. They suggested family counseling as a next step, but Ryan hasn't been open to that idea. He thinks I'm just stalling. To add another layer of complication, Laura recently called me directly. She sounded desperate and told me that Ethan is a good boy who doesn't deserve to be shuffled around. She said she wasn't proud of the affair and that she didn't want to disrupt my family, but didn't have any other options. She even cried and apologized, but all I felt was anger, not just at her, but at Ryan for putting me in this situation. My friends are divided. Some say I'm justified and shouldn't be pressured to accept a child that represents such a deep betrayal. Others say that as painful as it is, Ethan is innocent and needs stability, and that I should find a way to make it work. For his sake, if not for Ryan's. Now I'm questioning everything. Did I make the wrong choice in staying with Ryan after the affair? Am I being selfish for putting my own emotional well-being ahead of a child's basic needs? Or am I being forced into an impossible situation by a man who's already broken my trust once? So, am I the asshole for refusing to house my husband's affair child? I feel like no matter what I do, someone gets hurt.